Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now, I know it's been a while, okay? But I am actually really excited and couldn't think of a better video to come back to you all with than this one, because this week is actually the start of my anniversary week for Brittany Christina Home. And literally, I am celebrating 1 year in business, which is so crazy to say that it's already been 1 year since I launched this brand. And I'm just so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. This past year has just been such a amazing journey. I've had ups, I've had downs, right? But to think that like a year ago, I launched this brand with a couple of pillow designs, a Shopify website, a dream, and a whole lot of faith. And now to see it just grow and blossom to what it is today is just amazing. I have, been able to ship my product to customers all over the country. I have been featured on television. I've been featured in a magazine. I had my first celebrity customer. So many wins, just so many great things. But I've also had some lows as well. I've had some slow months. I literally started my brand during a trade war. Okay, like that was interesting, trying to navigate manufacturing and inventory and all of that, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I am just super excited. And while I was reflecting just internally on my own time, I was like, you know what, I think it's time. I owe you all a video. It's time for me to just share the 10 lessons that I've learned over this past year in my business. So I'm hoping that this video will encourage somebody, whether you're thinking about starting your own business, whether you already have your own business, whether you just like need community and just need validation, like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this, like someone else is going through it too. I hope that, each and every one of you just find some little takeaway from this video to help encourage you on your journey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, lesson number 1, start before you feel ready. If I had waited to start Brittany Christina Home until everything was perfect, Brittany Christina Home wouldn't exist today, right? The logo wasn't perfect. This idea, I had a vision for Brittany Christina Home, but I couldn't launch, like I couldn't jump to the end. I had to start somewhere, right? So I started with one product versus like being able to bring my full idea to fruition. I didn't have a team. I didn't know anything I didn't have this vast interior design background. I just like decorating my home, right? So like there was a lot of gaps, but I knew I was gifted, and I knew that there was enough evidence and there was enough confirmation from God that I needed to do something with the gifts. And I think sometimes all you have to do is just get started. Just put one foot in front of the other. Perfection doesn't build businesses, consistency does, right? And so I think starting even before you feel ready, even before anything is perfect, and just put one foot in front of the other. And I tell you, God will light your path, and everything will just start coming. So start before you feel ready. All right, lesson number 2, comparison will steal your joy, okay? There will always be someone bigger, someone with more resources, someone more experienced, someone who is where you want to be. But it is unfair to compare your month 3 into your business to somebody else's year 10, okay? And if you are not careful about that, you start to go down this path and down this rabbit hole that you were never meant to travel. Okay. So give yourself grace when you are starting your business. And I highly recommend that you find something to keep you grounded and to help you stay motivated during the slow times. There's a lot of excitement around the launch of a brand or the launch of a product or the launch of a business, right? But like what happens after launch week? And it gets slow. And you know what I mean? Like find something to ground you to stay consistent and do not compare. What is for you will not miss you. Lesson number 3, make God the CEO of your business. Okay. I am highly aware that everybody watching may not share the same beliefs as me. However, the reason why I create these videos and I'm documenting my journey is because my God is real. Okay. This is my second business, and someone asked me like, what do you feel like is different this time around versus your first business? Obviously wisdom, experience, right? Like I can make better decisions because I know better, but the difference is in this business, Brittany Christina Home, God is the CEO of this business. And my first, when I was a fashion designer and I had a fashion brand, I was very much the CEO. I was very much had this hustle mentality, chasing, 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 going, going, going. And that's, me in my 20s thinking I could do it all, wear a cape and everything. But me working in my own strength got me half as far, and I was burnt out. It was like I crashed hard, y'all. I crashed hard when I had to pause that brand. This time around, it's so easy, okay? The difference is this. I do not move unless I have a vision for something. I literally move at the pace of grace. Before I would run ahead of God, this time, if God don't say go, I'm chilling. I am chilling, okay? And that is the difference. Like I have not had to work that hard. And to be honest, if I really had to evaluate myself, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but like I really could have given more effort in Brittany Christina Home in the beginning. But like, life happens. I was dealing with a lot of things. But even with me not being able to give 110% as I wanted to initially, God still saw fit for opportunities to come my way that I didn't have to work that hard for. I think part of it is consistency and showing up and being obedient that is placing me in the right path for opportunities to find me, and I don't have to run after them. And that is the difference. And it just feels so much better. Like I feel like I can make better business decisions from a place of clarity versus from a place of lack. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. It's just different. So make that God the CEO of your business, okay? Lesson number 4, Pinterest is gold. Gold, okay? If you are any type of visual brand, if you're fashion, beauty, home decor, any type of like visual aspirational brand, you need to be utilizing Pinterest. And I'm just going to say this and we're going to move on. Pinterest is the sole reason why I get consistent orders on a monthly basis. It comes from Pinterest. And I didn't realize it until about like month 4 or 5 in my business, because I was like, how are people finding me? Majority of my customers, so I live in Maryland. I'm on the East Coast. Majority of my customers are not on the East Coast. And I started noticing that in month 3. And I was like, why am I constantly getting customers from Texas? Why am I constantly getting customers from Ohio, from Maine, from all these random places? I have no connection to these places. How are they finding me? Pinterest. Thank you, Pinterest. I'm going to do another video and go deeper to teach. I think brands are underutilizing or not utilizing Pinterest at all, and you should. So Pinterest is gold. If you know nothing about Pinterest, I highly recommend for your more visual, creative brands, learn. They have an academy. There's several YouTube videos. I will make a YouTube video. Please learn Pinterest for your business because you're leaving money on the table. Lesson number 5. Inventory can be both a blessing and a curse. I don't get me wrong. Selling out is amazing. And that's the goal. Everybody should want to sell out. But the moment you start seeing a whole lot of traffic come to your site and you know what they're looking for and you know that they're probably going to be disappointed because they can't buy it, that is when it stings a little bit. And I've definitely learned over the past year that managing inventory, working with manufacturers is both an art and a science, right? And I mentioned earlier that shortly after I launched this brand, we entered into a trade war. So that was very interesting. And I've learned the lesson of having multiple manufacturers on deck, right? But also being able to time my restocks accordingly because this is my first year in business. I'm still trying to understand the demand and with the seasons and all of that. So I feel like I now have a better understanding having gone through a full year cycle. But you have to be ready. And I'll give you a real case scenario. Last month, which was May, was a very slow month for me because I was sold out of my bestseller. And recently, I am just so grateful and in awe that Brittany Christina is reaching the masses. I recently had a large influencer tag my brand because she purchased a pillow from me, and I'm so grateful. The pillows that she purchased are out of stock. So, blessing and a curse because love that my brand is getting bigger and the demand is coming in, but now it forced me in real time. Okay, how do I pivot? How can I do a pre-order situation? Because I know the restock is on the way. It's just not here yet, but that shouldn't prevent customers from being able to buy and secure their pillows if they want to, right? So it's been a journey to understand manufacturing, but I absolutely love it. You just have to be strategic and you have to be ready to pivot and you have to be able to diversify your products so that you don't just have one golden egg, that you have multiple golden eggs. So, lesson number 6, show up and be consistent. When I tell you, because going into interior design was kind of like foreign territory for me a little bit. And because God is the CEO of my business and he tells me what to do and I listen and I be obedient, there have been several opportunities that have come my way where I'm like, oh, this sounds like a good opportunity. But like that imposter syndrome start kicking in. Like, is this for right now? Like, do I need to do this opportunity right now? And I think sometimes I have gone into several situations not having a clue as to what I was going to do, what I was, whether I was supposed to be there or not, but I showed up anyway. And I think sometimes showing up is half the battle. Show up and let God do the rest. And I'll give you a prime example. I was on TV. I got my first television appearance. This was back in February of this year, and I was on Good Morning Washington. But let me tell you how I got there. So, literally minding my business, sitting on the couch one evening, and I felt led. Something was like, I should probably try to show up on Threads more, the social media platform Threads. I go on Threads periodically. I see, when I'm on Instagram, it'll show you people on Threads that I don't follow. So I'll click, but I'm like, Threads seems like it's a cool place. Like maybe I should be on Threads. And I remember I was just working with ChatGPT. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I was working with Chat and I was like, Chat, can you just, I don't know what to say. Like, can you just give me like an introductory, like what do you recommend for my first post to be on Threads, right? I posted like an introductory, hi, my name is Brittany. I do XYZ. It was so basic. It was so basic, so simple. Tell me why within 24 hours that post went viral. Tell me why I had my DMs were flooded and one of those DMs was an offer to get on Good Morning America the next week to talk about my brand. It was literally that simple. Literally, I had no idea. Didn't know nothing about threads. Didn't know nothing about. I just made one post. Haven't been back since because that was like overwhelming. I need to do better and be consistent. Show up, but be consistent. I need to do better with the consistency part. But it's like showing up in that area led me to be on TV. Yeah, show up and let God do the rest. Lesson number 7: use AI in your business. Don't be afraid of AI. That's it. That's the lesson. No, I use ChatGPT, Claude, and honestly, Shopify has AI capabilities wrote up. I love Shopify so much. If y'all didn't know, I'm a Shopify expert. Been using Shopify for years. Love Shopify down. Even Google has Shopify, or Google has AI now integrated. Like literally, AI is in so many tools that we use at our fingertips. Use it for your business. Like literally every single day, from building strategies to creating content to writing, helping me write my emails to, enhancing my product photography. Like I use AI in all aspects of my business. And I am happy to do a separate video and go a little bit deeper into that if you're interested. So if you're interested, drop a comment. Let me know if you want me to do a separate video, but use AI in your business. That's the lesson. Lesson number 8 is to protect yourself in your business. And this is specifically through the use of trademarks. Make sure that your business is set up to be legit, right? And that you're taking the time to learn and understand how to keep your business legit and protected. Like, I feel like I just talked in circles, but just protect your business. I think something that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially solo entrepreneur, I think a lot of people want to get to the idea. They want to get to the launch. They want to get to the product. They want to start making money. And so they bypass and skip the necessary steps that you need to take that can set you up for success, right? And so for me, this is my second business. The first time I had a business, it was just set up a lot differently. So I think a lot of the measures, I don't want to say they didn't matter, but it was just, it's different. And I knew that when I started this business, because I saw potential in this growing and being a big thing, that I wanted to make sure that it was set up right. And so that meant having a trademark. And I'll talk about the trademark process in a second because I filed my trademark myself. When I knew it was on the list, and it's been on the list for a while, and I thought I was going to have to spend a lot of money to file a trademark. I thought I was going to have to, invest in a team to do it on my behalf. And something was like, let me just look into it to see if it's something I could do myself, because I'm a new business. I don't have all this money, right? So like, how can I do this myself? I also thought it was going to take like almost 2 years to get it done. When I actually took the time to read and understand, and anything I didn't understand, I put it in ChatGPT and I was like, break this down for me so I like know what I'm looking at. Literally, the process was so easy. You just have to read and you just have to understand what you're doing. But the process was so easy. It did not take me long to file it myself, and I was able to get my trademark in like 4 or 5 months. It was so fast. I was not expecting that at all. The same with my sales taxes, filing sales taxes and filing actual taxes. Like, it seems daunting because it's something that like feels like I shouldn't do it by myself, but it wasn't difficult and it wasn't easy. And in 2026, not knowing something should no longer be an excuse when we have all of these agents at our fingertips to really understand and break down information. You do not have to invest and spend a lot of money. Like, just The only thing you need to invest is time, right? But like take the time to make sure your business is set up correctly and protect yourself, because that is going to help you in the long run. Lesson number 9 is about stewardship and being a good steward over your finances as a business. Okay. This is probably one of the biggest lessons that I have, but it was one of my favorite things to learn. Not only setting up your business in terms of the trademarks and the sales tax and all of that stuff, but setting up your business financially and having good practices every month to reconcile your expenses, right? Even when it comes to building a business bank account, I set up a business bank account, I have a checking account, I have multiple savings accounts for my business. I set up practices where I have budgets, where I have a marketing budget. I have an inventory budget. I have, when I first started my business, it was self-funded. So I loaned my business money to start it up. And now I'm making sure that I'm paying myself back, on a frequent basis to loan it. Not only am I paying myself back, but I'm also making sure, just as the owner of the brand, that I'm paying myself, period. You know what I mean? That's something I did not do in my last business. My last business, all the money was just racked up and it just was whatever. And I that was one thing that I wanted to do differently this time around. But you should absolutely pay yourself and start paying yourself from month one, because you're putting in a lot of work. And if you cannot pay yourself, do you really have a business? Exactly. So I think I have really taken time to develop. I have spreadsheets, right? I allocate budgets and my monthly income. And this allows me to be a good steward over my finances, because I then look, okay, what is in my marketing budget? Do I have money to invest in ads or to do, some sort of social media, invest in an influencer or invest in whatever. Like, do I have money in the budget to do that? If I don't have money in the budget to do that, guess what? I can't do it. Do I have money to invest in new product right now? If I don't have money in that budget, guess what? I can't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't do it at all, but it just means that right now may not be the right time for you to do that. And having those practices, those best practices, especially as a solo entrepreneur, will help you so much more when you get to the point where you start growing a team. It'll just make it that much easier. So make sure that you're developing practices, and just be a good steward over your finances, over your business. If you steward well the little that you have right now, God is going to trust you way much more in the future. So be a good steward. Lastly, I want to talk about trusting God's timing, specifically with building a team. It is so crazy to say that it's only been a year in my business, and I feel like God is calling me into a season. First of all, I have been praying for God to send the right people into my life to help build this vision that He has given me. And when I tell you, the people that He's sending me are top tier. I don't want to give it away, but I'm working on something that I will reveal in literally just a few days. My brand is going to elevate in just a few days. And, it's one thing. I've been a solo entrepreneur for so long, and I feel like I've maxed out, all the tools and things. Like, there's nothing like having another thought partner to help you strategize your business. And while I might be good at a lot of things, I cannot be excellent in everything. And I think it is time for me to bring on and start to really build out my team in several areas of my business. And God has been highlighting those areas. I haven't been rushing it, but it's been happening organically. And I am just so excited. So I just want to say, trust God with his timing when it comes to expansion. You cannot do everything yourself. Your business is not going to be able to grow and sustain with you doing every single thing. So you need people, and God has called us to be around people. He's, assigned different people to us. And so just trust the timing on that. And I am so excited to be entering this phase in this season of having a team. I've never done this before. I've had interns, I've had contractors, but a team, this is a new era. New era of Brittany Christina Home, okay? Trust God. So that is it. I hope you all enjoyed those 10 lessons. There's so much more to come. I just want to take this time, just literally as I enter into our anniversary week for Brittany Christina Home, just to shout out everyone who has ever supported me. If you have purchased something, if you have engaged with any of my content, left me a comment on a YouTube video, liked an Instagram post, reshared a story or a viral video, or even just if you all watch and y'all smile and you're just silently like, I'm rooting for her. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all because it takes a community to be able to do this and to be able to sustain this. I'm doing something that this wasn't even a thought 2 years ago. And for me to be able to build this brand in 90 days, like literally the inception to making it reality. And here we are a year later, expanding and, just getting bigger and better. It is blowing my mind. And so I am forever grateful. And, to show my gratitude, we're having an anniversary sale. And today is actually the start. This is day 1 of our anniversary sale. It will be running until June 21st at 11:59 p.m. And then June 22nd, which is my actual birthday, I'm going to be launching something special. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We talked about consistency, and I am going to hold myself accountable at being more consistent and putting out more videos and truly just continuing to document my journey for you all. But subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my email newsletter. If you're remotely interested in home decor or just, want to stay up to date with the things that I have going on, please stay in touch, y'all. I'm so excited, so grateful, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Actually, the next video that I launch will be on my birthday, announcing what's to come. So stay tuned for next week, and I will see you all then. Bye.